day. My name is Dele Ayimibo, and you are welcome to another edition of Sharing Trade Information on Trade DBA TV. And today's video, my focus will be on, first of all, continuing what we started, and that has to do with the contract. What should be in your contract? What you should not neglect in your contract? What the content of the contract should be? In the last episode, I talked about product. I'll continue on the trajectory of product today, but today I'll focus on quantity. The quantity of the item should be stated on the contract. Now, it's important you have an understanding of the quantity of the item that will fit into a container. So, for example, some products are already standard based on practice. So, for example, if I'm doing cocoa, about 15, 16 metric tons. Some will say maybe 12 to 15 metric tons, depending on the size of the sack. If I'm doing sesame seed, about 18, 19, 20 tons. If I'm doing cashew nuts, 17, 18 metric tons. If I'm doing minerals, I can do up to 25 metric tons. If I'm doing minerals, 25 metric tons. If I'm doing charcoal, about 20 metric tons. The quantity that will fit a container depend on experience and the size of the unit. You know, we discussed packaging before. How is it packaged and what quantity will fit a container? The quantity also you sign is based on how much you can fund for shipment per time. How much you can fund for shipment per time. It's important you know how much you can fund for shipment per time, because that is what will be required to be divided into the number of containers. So, for example, if what you can ship per time is 20 million, 30 million, or $100,000, or $50,000, $1 million, whatever quantity, what is the quantity of that particular monetary value? What is the quantity of the product that you will be able to do with it? Now, how much quantity will fit the container? And if you are not going to be able to fill a container, you might have to share container with someone. So the contract should state what quantity we are shipping, and sometimes it might even tell you what will fit a container. So if your product is finished product and it's in cartons, and you want to know the number of cartons that will fit a container, check online the inner dimension of the container, length and breadth and height. You know that volume you calculated in secondary school. That volume calculated in secondary school. Calculate the volume of the container. Then calculate the volume of the box, length and breadth and height of the box. Then divide the volume of the container by the volume of the box. That will tell you the quantity of those boxes that can fit into that container. So let's say the length and breadth and height of the container is 300,000 cm3, for example, 300,000 cm3. And then the boxes, when I calculate length and breadth and height, let's say is 300 cm3, length and breadth and height of the carton, but the container 300,000 cm3. 300,000 divided by 300 will give you 1,000. That means I will need to put 1,000 of that carton in that container. So when I'm signing the contract, if my fund can only do 1,000, can do one container, I'll put there 1,000 carton, because I know 1,000 carton will fit into a container. Because I've done my calculation, I know 1,000 carton will fit into a container. You should be able to do that calculation. If it's a drum, you also know calculate the volume of the drum. I can't remember the formula now. Is it pi r square h or pi r h? I don't know. I mean, you remember those things you did in secondary school. Calculate the volume of the cylinder of the drum, calculate the volume of the container, and be able to know how many we fit. So sometimes it might be an approximate, like the one I said 1,000. It might be maybe 1,200, 1,005. You always make room for about 5 to 10% because it will not perfectly fit. So if it's 1,000, I might be putting inside that container 995 or 990 cartons instead of 1,000 cartons, because it might not perfectly fit into the container. I don't know if I'm making sense to you. So the idea here is that don't just sign the quantity. Ask yourself, this quantity, number one, can it fit into a container? In fact, this will also impact on your price, because If my quantity will not fit in the container, I have to share container, then I need to know what the cost is. I'll be discussing pricing in the next video. So don't forget to join us in the next video when I'll be talking about pricing and how to determine your pricing for you to be able to export your item. Thank you very much for being able to join us again today. I believe this video has been of enough benefit to you. If yes, give it a thumbs up. If you have friends that need to hear about it, share with your friends. You have questions for me? Drop it in the comment section below. More importantly is subscribing to our community and click on the notification bell so you know when we come again with a new edition of discussing trade on DBA TV. My name is Dele Ayemibo and I'm your expert doctor and I'm signing out.